I have said these things so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. John's Gospel, chapter 15, verse 11. This week is Christian Aid Week, and so I thought I'd share with you a tale of two Roses. So let me begin by telling you about my granddaughter Rose. She's 3 this year and lives in the north of England. She is very much her own person, knowing what she likes and wants. Oh, and she does love Peppa Pig. She has an older sister and a mum and dad who dote on her and her sister. They provide for the girls' every need. Rose, she loves her food and eats pretty much everything. Sharing, well, we've still got to work on that. But she is surrounded by all the comforts of home: warmth, shelter, food, water on tap, and let's not forget the piles and piles of toys. This year, Rose has enjoyed playing in the snow, and they seem to have had quite a lot of snow up north lately, more than usual. Rose is completely unaware of the chaos that snow can bring. For her, it's all about making snowmen and throwing snowballs. The family do love country walks, and one of their favourites is to the local reservoir. It's a lovely place for wildlife and just to be out in nature. I often wonder when Rose will realise why the reservoir is there. Its purpose for the community. And I wonder if she will ever see it empty. Although she's only 3, Rose has much to be thankful for, and I hope that in time she will play her part in caring for creation, not just in her community, but beyond. And so to the other Rose. The other Rose is featured in this year's Christian Aid appeal. This Rose lives in Kenya. She's 60 years old and is a grandmother and strives to provide for her grandchildren who live with her. She does all she can to give them a happy childhood. The chaos of climate change has devastated the growth of beans and maize, and it has left her land and her family thirsty, hungry, and very poor. In times of drought, Rose sets out on a long and dangerous journey every morning to collect water for her family. But at 60 years old, she won't have the strength to fetch water for much longer. And when the rains do come, relief is often short-lived. The nearby dam, which should be a lifeline, is not big enough for everyone's needs. It runs out quite quickly. Can you imagine how it must feel watching the rain fall for days, only to find the dam empty a short while later? A reliable source of water would mean so much for Rose. She would be free of her daily walk for water, and her family would be able to grow crops. At the beginning of this Christian Aid Week, the challenges, both personal and communal, local and global, are indeed great. But so too is the joy that is set before us, and so too is the abundance of life that is found in the Spirit. To resist the injustice, to overcome poverty, to nurture creation, to act in these ways, even with small and faltering steps, is surely a sign of our love for God and our love for God's people, and indeed for God's creation. This Christian Aid Week, we can join in the struggles with Rose. And if we make that choice, we refuse to get used to the way the world is, and we commit to struggle for all it might be, a world that is just and an earth with enough. If we follow Jesus, if we live in the Spirit, then the kingdom will be discovered among us. If we make that choice, our joy will be complete in Christ, and Christ's joy will be complete in us.